I think I'm live. I think I am. I think I'm live. 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 All right. All right, perfect. All right. So the good news is we're starting off with everybody agreeing. that hasn't happened like all week where we come out of the gate with everybody agreeing. So we got the ES going long, we got the NQ going long, we got the YM going long, we got the RTY going long. So that's all good news. I'd kind of like to see if I gotta put something out there to talk about right now. My preference would be gold to rotate up and sit on top of the high and go long. That would be my preference. But it looks like it's going to reject off the prior day high, which is not a surprise. I'm just afraid to take gold short. It's just so strong lately. So I'm looking at that. The reason I'm looking at gold and not necessarily the equities right at this moment is because gold has been open for a while. The equities are the ones that are still, kind of in that spastic mode. Boy, there were some nice hammer candles in the RTY right here after the Donchian Channel and daily high. Look at that hammer candle right there. Since this was red, this is where it opened. And then see how it just blew right through there? Wow, that was nice. I don't know if anybody caught that, but that was, especially when this candle opens and it's already somewhat down, and then but it's a hammer candle. I mean, that is a beautiful trade right there. The ES had the exact same. I mean, literally spitting image, bing, bing, bing. And it went right to the prior day high, and now it's sitting there. I am live. All right. Give me a second here. What the heck is going on? GC. All right. So, we do have a little bit of news at 10 o'clock, consumer sentiment, but this pull down by these two is exactly from that rejection of the prior day open in the ES. I mean, it literally just stuck its finger through two ticks and then slammed straight down. Doesn't mean it's going to go down, but that's definitely had some selling pressure right there. The thing is, when you get those reactions like that, it causes all the other ones to kind of monkey see, monkey do. You know what I mean? That's why you got to kind of pay attention to, especially the bigger markets. You got to kind of pay attention. You know, the ES is ES is the bull in the China shop, and if the ES is about ready to come into something that's going to slow things down, be prepared that the same thing is going to happen in the RTY and the NQ. I mean, it's just, you just got to be prepared because they're going to get hit too. Doesn't mean your pattern's going to fail. Sorry about it. I had a gap in my live stream. Jesus, I'm getting sick of that. Man, some climbing to do over here. This one's already through the prior day highs and prior day open. The RTY is the one lagging. Morning, George. One of the things I want to kind of just touch on a little bit today, because somebody made a comment yesterday. It was a very nice comment, by the way. So I don't mean this in a negative way, but somebody made a comment yesterday on the trade that I took. I think it was in gold, but they said, man, I wish I had your patience to sit and wait for that trade. And so one of the things I kind of want to talk about is, if you go back and you look at the video from yesterday of when that trade was coming, I was showing you guys, like I do all the time, like I try to do all the time. I was showing you guys in advance, this one's doing this. If we continue to do this, this is going to be a trade. And what made me say that was the deliberate action in the price action. And so, because what you want is not, and I can't stress this enough, it's not just that the pattern went to this moving average or the pattern went to this line. It's how did it get there? And when you start recognizing the difference between price just rolling to the line, like, for example, right now, just to make a basic example, but this rolling to this line. If price just rolls to the line, then there's not the manipulation that we're looking for the rejection. You've got to see, it's got to be deliberate. I can't stress enough. It's the deliberateness of the price that they're taking it from this spot to this spot. Then they're going to do this with it and go to this spot. It's that deliberateness. And when you start identifying them in the different instruments, and how, it makes it a lot easier to decide which trades to take, which ones to not, and your win rate will increase. I mean, I've taken 2 trades on the live stream this week, and both of them worked perfectly. But I sat here and waited for that deliberate move. Did I miss some trades? Absolutely. I miss trades all the time. But, it's the more I can sit here and wait till I see that the market's being manipulated, that the price movement is being manipulated, that they're intentionally going from here to there, then I can join the ride from here to there, because I know that it's from here to here. I don't know when that's going to happen, but from here to here, I can enjoy the ride. I jump in and enjoy the ride because I now know the manipulation is happening versus the meandering. There's probably 80% of the time we're looking at these charts, it's just meandering. It's just meandering. Just, hey. And it's going to meander probably for a while right now until we get past this last bit of news. But it's the manipulation that you're looking for, not the meandering. Let's get past this news. Now, the RTY, like I said, the RTY has a ways to go to get to the level that everybody else is at. This area. So this might be the one I want to pay attention to. All right, gold is doing what I was hoping. Gold is ding, ding. So what I want it to go ding, ding, ding. So that I can be looking for a long. Still got the news in 1 minute. All right. See these herky-jerky candles? That's why we wait for the news. That's why we wait for the news to end. Oh my God. The ES one was pretty for ES. That's a big candle. That's 8 points. That's a big candle for the ES. 8 points. Come on, man. That is a big candle. That's exactly 8 points. I can't believe that. That's a big candle for the ES. On what you would think is not big news. But it's there. It's news. All right. Okay. I am deeply paying attention to gold. And I am am deeply paying attention to the RTY right now. Come on, gold. Come back down. Come back down. Wow. Jesus. Gold just blew through the freaking high. What the hell? Jesus, gold. What the hell are you doing? Well, at this point in time, one of two things on the RTY. Okay. I wouldn't mind if it just kind of hesitated like in this area. Of course, we got to, do a crossover, a reset and do maybe a 1 minute gold line. I don't think we have, I could be wrong because we do have a pivot on here, but I don't think we have the ability to take this all the way down to a red line trade yet. But it just might. It just might. This is interesting. So the news came out, market spiked up, and then subsequent to the news, it rolled over. Interesting. I mean, we might get a YM prior day high test here too to look at. It's getting stuck on the 5 minute 9 EMA right now. So you got stuck right there on that 5 minute 9 EMA. And the ES is stuck on the same thing. I mean, the red line on the MNQ, it's possible. Problem is we've beaten on that red line multiple times. I don't like when we've crossed over it and beaten on it multiple times. The more times you hit the red line without a reset, the less likely it's going to work. That's just what you want to see. Is you want to see price completely cross over it and then sit on it and then run. Like this. So you completely cross over to an ES, then sit on it and then run. You don't want it to be, you don't really want it to be where it's been bam, bam, bam. I mean, we've already pounded on it at least 3 times. Even though it came from a Donchian high. The ES is setting up for a potential red line. Still a little early for a red line, but So the ES is on the red line at the same time that the YM is sitting on the prior day high. That's a good sign, because you'd really like both of them to reverse, not just one of them. Because it's hard for one to reverse and the other one doesn't go with it. Wow. Woo, look at the YM. And the ES just got blown through on its red line. Wow. Apparently that news, whatever that news was, is not being accepted well by the market. Interesting. Interesting. Jesus. I'm going to look at this. I'm going to look at this YM. This YM I'm focused on. If we can get this to settle. Consolidate right here. I want this to consolidate. I want you to consolidate. Just stay there. Don't run off on me. I said don't run off on me. All right, sit there. Sit there for 30 more seconds, please. Sit there for 30 more seconds, please. Interesting. We've never tested the overnight open from the top today. Okay. That's good news also. All right. What? Yeah, man. Jesus. Now we're just rolling. That's why you wait instead of buying at that line. That's why you wait. Jesus. Man, gold is just gone. Gold is just gone. It's just giving me nothing. Both of these are gone. This has gone down and this has gone up. Jesus. All right, I'm not going to pay attention to the YM for now, because that last candle put us in limbo. Put us below the open, below the red line, all that. Now this thing may recoil all the way back up because it's oversold, but I'm not going to be involved. It's definitely oversold short term. Jesus. How can consumer sentiment change the market this much? Something else got to be going on. Jesus. That's insane. Huh. Good morning, Domino. Come on. All right, what do we got here? to, we've already gone down from the bottom of the prior day open a couple times. Jesus. All right. All right. Let's talk about the big dog. Come on, gold. Don't, come on, gold. Come on. No, God dang it. Just as I dragged it over. Forget it. Forget it. Just as I dragged it over. Just as I dragged it over, it destroyed the possibility of a 1 minute gold line trade. Just as I dragged it over. All right. It's okay with me. To be honest with you, with gold, which that may be the sign because it false broke to the long. It may be time for it to come back here and then do a rejection. That would be nice. I said, George, earlier that we've already tested the bottom of the prior day open 3 times or 2 times, right here and right here. But after this long run, I wasn't going to partake. But I don't know, something may be going on. The market's certainly rolling over for some reason. Certainly rolling over for some reason. The RTY is the only one saying, come on, guys. Come on. I don't want to go short. I want to go long. Oh, man. Go down a little bit. Go down a little bit. Go down, RTY. Go down a little bit. Just a little bit. Stop. Stop. Just stop. RTY is definitely showing signs of a W pattern here. Bing, bing, bing. This leg would have to hold above there. Freaking gold, man. It's just Jesus. Just gold is killing me. Gold just ran away. Still running away. I'm wondering what the heck was the consumer sentiment number that bad? Yep. There it is. There it is. That's the W. It did it from here to here to here after the long leg. So this should start rolling up through here. If it's got the key is breaking here. No, it never had a chance. If it had pierced the red line, it would have destroyed the W that it was forming. Here it goes. Shit. Yeah. God damn it. There it goes. Oh, there. I finally put the dots in. Okay. Yeah, that's the break point. Jesus. Damn it. I didn't have a support place to put to enter that trade. That would have been beautiful if I did. I didn't have a support place. Really needed this to go down further, not hit the red line, then have that roll over and then sit on the red line and then roll up. That would have been a beautiful potential W all the way back to here. It's breaking down. It's breaking down. It's breaking down. Of course, we just had a 1 minute gold line short in the NQ. Right here. But I'm not interested in it because it's too overextended. We're too overextended to the downside. We need some consolidation. Right, Jim? Exactly. We're too overextended to the downside. I need consolidation. That's why that NQ trade did not have much promise in it. Hey, having a good day, Jim. I like that. Yeah, it had a nice off the gold line. The problem is we had a candle on the way that broke the integrity of the pattern down. But it was a nice run. Jesus, gold is just insane. Just insane right now. Gold is just insane right now. Why are we consolidating so much? What the hell's going on? Well, just going to sit here. Shit. Sorry. Man. Okay. Come on, RTY. I would like to see the RTY come up, break this pivot here, rotate back onto the gold line for long. Yep, it's holding the line. Come on, RTY. Come on. It's just not helping that everybody else still keeps going down. It's like, it's not helping. Everybody else keeps going down. What the hell? All right. Jesus. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. 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 Wow, wow, wow. Wow, wow, wow. Jesus, gold. Gold just keeps on running. Just keeps on running. It's just something must have happened. I mean, something must have happened. I can't get the consumer sentiment number to pop up. Something must have happened. This is just crazy. Gold is just gone. I mean, it's just something must have happened. I don't know. That's good because I got a room full of silver, my friend. Unfortunately, silver has not been reacting the way gold has the last few years. Jesus. The ES just literally walked its way through the prior day open and the prior day close. I mean, just walked right through them. Come on, man. That's good. All right. All right. I'm focused on this right here. Come on. Come on, RTY. Give me something. Feel like I'm catching a fallen knife here. The hell? Oh, Jesus. Come on. Unbelievable. No thanks. All right, what do we got going on here? Man, wow. Well, that okay. Well, it may have exhausted itself because we went through and then rolled back up. It may have finally exhausted itself. Not on any of my lines, unfortunately. We've already been to the gold line a couple times. See right here. So this is like your second or third attempt. We didn't have a reset. Doesn't mean it's not going to work, but I look for resets to give the strength. There we go. Come on. What are we looking for? Jesus. Come on. Yeah. Oh boy. Oh God. That's fucking funny. Excuse me. I just swore. Sorry. I got to start paying attention. Sorry. So, Dominic, one of the things, remember I talked about you can play the red line or the gold line, for rotations and like scalps back to. So let's just take this for example right here. Rotations and scalps back to say your Donchian low. But what I'm looking for is that initial rotation when we test the gold line with the smooth pullback for the bigger trade. But if you're getting what I'm saying, man, oh God, there goes the ES. There goes the ES. It's off and running. See you, Jim. There goes the ES, man. It's off and running. Come on. He trades a little freer. He trades a little freer than I do because I'm trading in front of you guys. I mean, like some of the things that he's looking at, I sit there and go, yeah, I would take that too because it's worth the risk. But it's not the stuff that I trade here in front of you guys because I don't need 50,000 questions. Bob, why'd you take that? That's not in your trading stuff. I get it. You know, like for example, I'm going to give you a perfect example. Let me give you an example. Let me give you an example. Hold on here. Let me give you an example. All right, hold on here. Where is it? Dang it, Bob, pull the chart down here. This right here. Okay, so look at this. So you have this consolidation. The market's leaning down, but we've been down. When this candle right here broke, after it broke down below this one, okay, if you're hyper focusing when a market's moving, see how that candle right there is a consolidation candle right here, this red one, and then this broke down. When this came out, when it failed to the short side, that was the trade. He uses a bigger stop because he's looking for bigger targets too. But this was the trade right here. But it's not a trade that I sit here and tell you guys about because you're looking in the internals. You're looking at, everybody's leaning to the downside. You've already gone on top of the prior day close. Now there's a battle going on. And then they had this inside candle that broke down below it. So you just have an order sitting here when the break to the downside fails because they've got the shorts trapped. It doesn't mean that it's going to trigger, but if it does trigger, it's gone. It's gone. And if you sit and stare at the internals of the candles, sometimes you can see that stuff because you can see when this candle here got broken to the downside, everybody's expecting it to go short. Okay, so tons of sellers were there, and the buyers were trapping them. And then, bam! Now all the sellers that stacked up here, their stops were here, which is a buy, and they just shot it straight up. I mean, and that's the stuff that he sees, that he knows. This is the place where the trade is going to happen, okay? Because these are our lines. But what are they really trying to do? And if you can just happen to sit here and wait, and then see the candles form, it's that inside candle, man. If they will lean it, if the break of that inside candle will lean it the direction that you would think the market's supposed to go, and it does, and then reverses, that's a home run. That's a home run, Bruce. That's an absolute home run. That's a grand slam. Boom. You just hit that thing with multiple contracts, because the probability that there's so many people stuck above that candle, meaning this green one, with stops is so high because they're leaning that way. And that's what slammed it down. And then if you watch this candle formate, it just reverses, whoom, gone. That's the kind of stuff right there that he recognizes, because he and I have gone into detail of what to look for. NQ did the same thing right here. Here's an internal candle, consolidation to the downside. Everybody's looking down. Candle went down, and then boom, broke out the other side. Gone. It's, once the market's gone one way so long, it's got to reverse. But where is the reversal? And when you can see the consolidation candle, and then the consolidation candle getting broken one way, Put your orders on the other side. It doesn't mean that it is going to reverse, but if it does, you're in like Flint. Then you've got to stare at the charts and wait for that. And you got to be patient, patient, patient. And I'm going to tell you something. What really helps is this thing right here, because it allows me to stare at the chart, and then all I got to do is push the button. I don't have to sit there and keep dragging the order. I can stare at the chart. Man, did I get my freaking ES stuck? I did. Damn it. Oh, there it is. Okay, I can see it. All right. I didn't get it stuck. Come on. Come on. Move. Move. Jesus. I mean, you probably heard me say a couple times, Bruce, that we're overextended. We're overextended to the downside. And if you can sit there and see a spot where they're going to, and what a better spot for the ES to play the game on the overnight open, from the market being extended to the downside too far. What a place to relieve the pressure of the downside move. That was a beautiful setup. Now, I'm going to tell you something funny. The reason that you guys heard me laugh, I took that fucking trade. The problem was I was in this candle right here. See this big candle? I actually took that trade. That's why I got real quiet and I was focusing on this. I took that damn trade. The problem in at break even. My auto stop put me in at break even because I was, I'm sitting there looking at the trade. But, all I had to do is put my stop below this candle. This is a beautiful entry because there's not much space between the bottom of that candle and the entry. And then look what it did. I mean, that's well over 10 points. That's why I was laughing. I actually, if you guys go back and watch the video at that time right there, I was laughing. But I didn't show the trade on the chart because, everybody's going to be like, what did you do? Why'd you do that? I didn't see the gap. What'd you do? Why'd you do that? I just, anyways, God dang it. I am struggling with my charts. Sorry. Yeah, look to the left. The left tells you everything. And then the left can also show you where the am I still frozen? I'm not still frozen, am I? No. Okay. All right. Sorry about that. Anyways, but did you hear why I was laughing? Because I did laugh earlier. It's because I was in that damn trade. It shot straight up. I mean, because I knew where the break was. and the stop came back because my it threw me to break even, and then it came back, knocked me out, and I started laughing because if it hadn't auto done that, and I was just had my stop at the bottom of that candle, hell, I'd have made 10 points on that damn ES trade in a matter of 2 minutes. Okay, Bruce. I don't think it's the software. I got a storm coming in today. I don't know. Maybe it might be. I don't know. But I got a storm coming in today. And by the way, there's supposed to be a hurricane here Monday or Tuesday. So I don't know if I'll even be doing this because I don't like to trade in the storms because my internet has a tendency to go a little, hocus pocus on me. When we're in storms. All right, see you later, Bruce. Man, that was frustrating to be in that freaking ES trade and get knocked out. God dang it. Absolutely gorgeous trade. I sat here patiently waiting for it to set up. Jesus. Just frustrating. It's rejecting again. Why is this thing not moving? Yeah, it's rejecting again. I'm not in it this time. But it's rejecting again to the long side. Oh, don't tell me they're going to W pattern this thing in the ES. Oh, that would be very possible. Yeah, they may. Remember the big W they did yesterday? They may be doing it again today. Here's the bottom. Here's the top. Here's a new bottom. They may blow this thing right back through there. That big, just like the big W they did yesterday. Damn it. Why are you not? I am having such a hard time moving this ES chart. It doesn't like to be moved. Generac. Yeah. I put a Generac in for one of my customers recently, $13,000. He put it in his new house I built him. It's like, damn. I'm still laughing about that ES trade. I saw the entry. It was beautiful. I mean, I saw where the 10-point move was coming from. What a bitch. Oh, my God. They keep the snakes out of our transformers here. I don't need a Generac. Man, that's been the cause of any power outage I've had in the 21 years I've lived in this house. Been damn snakes getting into the transformers. I had an ice storm one time that put my power out for a couple days. I remember that. I'm far enough away from the coast that the hurricanes don't really bother me in terms of power outages, but yeah, they don't bother me so much. But the storms do. Yep, the storms definitely do. God dang it. That's frustrating. Just frustrating. Just frustrating. Such a beautiful trade. Such a beautiful trade. Yeah, well, it's a little different in Swannanoa. I build houses, by the way, in Swannanoa. It's a little different up there than it is where I'm at. They gorges that, oof, man, you can't fit much water down them. You can't fit much water down them at all. And then, of course, and you have the mountains actually catching the rain. I live in the lowland, but the high lowland. I'm in the foothills. I'm in the high lowland. I'm like in the ideal spot, man. I've been through every hurricane, you name it, sitting here. But I've built some houses in Swannanoa. They got that gorge right down through the town there. Well, damn it. What a bitch, that ES trade. God dang it. Literally, whiplash took me out, took off. Man, the RTY is just sitting on the overnight open. It's been sitting there for shit. what, 12 minutes, 15 minutes, just sitting on the overnight open, literally just sitting on it. I took that long of the ES, that right here. That's my $5 loss, is the commissions on this. I took this damn thing right here. Price blew through. We had gone through here, blew right through that, came up, sat on top of it, and I just sat here patiently. I thought about taking that, didn't. But then I saw this inside candle consolidate here, and I was in hyper focus mode. And when this candle broke the bottom of it, I had my order right there. And I mean, it threw me right in when it came up. And there I was. And then it whiplashed back because my ES trade, my ES auto ATM threw me at break even. Knocked me right out, then shot straight up for, probably, shot up for 16 points. But I was looking for 10. I was looking for 10 points. So I was in the right trade. God, I was in the right trade. And got snapped out. God, I was in the right trade. That was the most beautiful trade of the day. I mean, when you have ES candles, I can't stress it enough. When you have ES candles that look like that, you're in the right trade, my friend. You are in the right trade. You don't get ES candles like that very often. I was in the right trade. Especially for 10:40 in the morning. God, that was frustrating. But Jesus, the YM has gone completely sideways. The RTY has gone completely sideways. It's pretty sad when the ES is moving more than the YM or the RTY. Yes and no, Bill. That was just an unusual. If you look at that candle that I entered on, I mean, this thing shot like a rocket straight to here. That is a big move in the ES. And then it just slammed right down, knocked me out. I didn't have time. It happened like that, literally. If I had seen it jump to break even, I would have grabbed it and put it below the candle. But it all happened literally ta-ting. I mean, I was in and I was out and I was down $4 and some odd cents. Just like that. I mean, literally just like that. I didn't even get a chance. I mean, 9 times out of 10, your ATM is not going to throw you into a break even so fast that you can't manage it. Most of the time that my ATM jumps to break even, I'm pulling it back and following the candles. But I have the ATM on there in case, you other side. Hell, I could have lost, I don't want to leave it at stop loss. You got to understand, it went in and the ATM immediately, and the ATM threw it to break even. And I didn't even have time to do anything, which is very unusual. That doesn't happen that fast. Like if I'm like in that trade there, until price goes above my 9 EMA, I'm following the back until price goes above the 9 EMA, I'm following the back of the candles that are broken to the left. Then when I get above the 9 EMA, then I'm following pivots until I get to target. But that damn thing happened literally bing, bing. And I mean, I just sat there like I saw the trade go on the chart and I saw the trade gone. So I go over and look at my P&L and I lost $4 and some cents. And that's why I started laughing on the screen. I just started laughing. I was like, well, you know, shit. Again, the good news is I recognized the trade. The bad news is I got freaking clipped. But I mean, nobody expects the ES to move that fast. Nobody. That's more like something NQ would do, specifically NQ. To sit there and slingshot up and slingshot down all in a matter of 2 seconds. I'm not looking to be break even, to answer your question, Bill. I'm not looking for break evens. I'm looking to follow candles and rotations and defend my position. Yes. If you look in the description of this video, there's a link to the website. I use the free version. There's versions you can buy, but I mean, hell, I don't even use any of these other buttons down here. I just use the buy sell buttons. That's it. That's all I use, and it's pretty easy to set up if you know how to kind of figure out what the questions are in the template. But it loads as a strategy, so you have to identify it as a strategy, open order entry buttons, and then there it is. And then I got to put everything in tick mode because I do everything in ticks. And then you set in your stops and your targets and your quantities. And then I set up, so to answer Christine, so what I do is I set up different templates. Let me go back in here. So I've got different templates that I set up. Because I'm in. Hold on, let me get out of this. Let me disconnect it first. So I set up different templates for ES, GC, MNQ, NQ, RTY. I don't have one for YM because I just use the RTY one because my settings for both are exactly the same because they're literally twin sister instruments. They act similar. So I don't have a specific one that says YM, but I use the RTY one. And then I just load the template. Which one am I in right now? Am I in the RTY one? Am I in the RTY one? I don't remember. Shit. Yeah, I'm in the RTY one. Okay. But I love it because it allows me the ability to focus harder on the charts. Instead of where my mouse is and dragging, I can stare. And so like before I started using TradeSaber, I might have missed this trade right here because I'd have been so focused on dragging and dropping and all that kind of stuff. I might have missed that trade. And by the way, I took a trade last night. So let's talk about that. That's funny that you asked me that question because I took a trade last night, not last night, at 12:30 or something in gold. Let me show it to you guys. Let me find gold first of all. It helps if I put gold on the chart. So for example, gold yesterday at 12:30, I took a trade in gold. Where is it? Let me make sure this is yesterday. Yeah. Okay. So I took a trade in gold. Well, true to form. Okay. I saw this thing go from this Donchian high, scream down, come back up, and go right into here. And I manually entered for 2 contracts. I have my ATM at 1. Okay. I manually entered for 2 contracts, and I'm dragging it up till this candle closes. And I jumped the gun when I pushed the button, and I ended up getting in on these 2 candles. Let me see if I get rid of my strategy here. It might show up. Hold on here. Let me remove the strategy. Yeah. So see how I entered right there? I manually entered by accident because I was trying to get to the bottom of that candle, and then it spiked down in the last like 2 seconds. Then it went up and then slammed down, and I put my target at the bottom of this pivot. But anyways, I was very confident in that candle, in this trade, because this candle had gone up and lagged here and then started slamming down. Well, it's obvious it slammed down because in the last second or so, even though it took me in, it went up and then it right back down. So if I had the Sabre, so the problem with the Sabre is already loaded for just 1 contract. That's normally what I trade on that. I wanted to put 2 in there so I couldn't use the Sabre because I can't change the Sabre on the fly. I can't change the quantity. It's already programmed in for 1 contract. So that was the trade I took yesterday while sitting here on the phone. I just happened to see that beautiful setup. Jesus. And I just took it down to the rotation, took my chunk of change and called it a day. But again, well, why'd you take that trade, Bob? Well, again, deliberate. They deliberately rolled down, deliberately rolled up, deliberately rolled down. I just happened to mess up the entry, which is the frustration of drag and drop when the candles start getting a little agitated. That is the frustration of drag and drop. Yeah, thank you. You're right. Yeah, you're right. Where is it? Oh man, I not only turned it back on, I got to reload it. I took it off to get my orders to show. That's another thing. Your orders don't show. Like your orders don't show either. So like if you're trying, like if I'm doing a video with people and I got the trades, all I can do is say I took a trade here and I exited there, and people have to just, I guess, trust me that I'm not lying because I got to unload the strategy to actually show the markers. So I mean, you don't have that problem because you know your trades, but it's just kind of a little frustrating because I have to delete the stuff to show it. RTY just has no range, man. No range. And then another thing, George, one of my pet peeves is when price starts hanging out at the overnight open, you probably don't want to play with it because then it's at equilibrium. I call that equilibrium. So like the ES has done the same thing. It's now that it's done that big, huge recoil trade that I laughed about and got, you know, that's all I could do was laugh. I guess it's better than losing $200-300. But anyways, of course, I did lose $200-300 because I would have made $500. But anyways, but now that it's just hanging out here, man, there's not much to be looking at. Once it gets back to equilibrium, you might want to just call it a day. But anyways, I am going to shut off because I've got things to do today. My in-laws are coming in from out of town. And so, I gotta be a good son-in-law. Yes, my in-laws are still alive. They're in their upper 80s. How is my week going? I did not hit $1,000. I did not hit $1,000. I don't believe. Hold on. I had $100 yesterday before I turned off. I had $370 on that trade I just showed you. That's $470. And then I had a $300 trade when my power went out. So $770. I had $770. That's it on my personal account. So, I mean, I guess close. Well, that's true. I mean, because they're the same ones over and over again. But I have to, if I pull the strategy off, I can show it like I just did there. I had to pull the strategy off the screen to say, here's the trade I took, guys. I'm not making this up. Anyways, everybody have a good weekend. I hope to be streaming Monday, but if the hurricane's here, I think it's not supposed to really be here till Tuesday. That's a exactly I like the $1,000 a week goal because it doesn't put too much stress on me. You know, here who do daily basis with my strategy and talks about it. But anyways, but he's trading bigger targets than me, that kind of stuff. But anyways, everybody have a good weekend. Talk to you later. Bye.